Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs, and today I think we're going to be finishing up this mini album that we've been working on using the Remnants Lovely Layers printable mini album templates and the Prima Santorini paper collection. So the links to the templates will be in the description box below. The link to the playlist for the Remnants Lovely Layers will be in the description box below. And any and all other products that I use will also be down there in the description box. So all you have to do is hit show more and it'll drop down and you'll be able to see all that information in there. And I also wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up that I sound bad once again because I took my dog and my grandpuppy. I took them to the groomer yesterday, and that's another one of my allergies is animal dander. So not only do I have seasonal allergies, but I also have animal dander allergies. And my dog does not shed. She is a poodle. But, and then my grandpuppy is a golden doodle. But when they, when they go to the groomer, there's hair flying everywhere. And other animals' hair is flying everywhere. And they come home. Anyway, it's... again, so my allergies are just kicking my butt again today, but we are pushing forward. Okay, so as I've already said, we're nearing the end of this. I think this might even be the last video. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that we're going to be able to finish this up in this video. So this album was designed to be, matted with the large cutoff pieces when you cut your 12 by 12 down. So that's what I'm working with. And then I've also got some muted backgrounds and some other scraps from when we made the cover and all of that jazz. So, and then I've also got some bits and pieces left over from other pages. So what I thought I would do for this video, I thought it would be fun. Well, two things really. The first thing I want to tell you guys is that there's going to be a hidden secret coupon code in this video somewhere. It will pop up for a couple minutes. It'll be hard to find, but if you do find it, it'll be worth 50% off of everything in my shop. It is for one day only, from midnight to midnight, and the exact date will be in the description box below. Because I don't know if this is going up. I don't know if this is going up. I don't know when it's going up. It might go up Thursday. I don't know. But anyway. So the exact date that the coupon code will be good for will be in the description box below. It's meant to be fun. I also have a video showing you exactly what the coupon codes look like. The numbers might be different in each and every one. So don't expect to see that video and then be like, oh, I found the code. No, every one is different. So I will link that video below if you don't know what the secret hidden coupon code looks like. It is supposed to be hard to find. I mean, it's not impossible to find, but I will tell you it's easier to find it if you're on your TV, if you put it on the TV, or if you put it on HD. And they tell me that it's easier to find if you turn the volume off. For some reason, when I'm talking, it's distracting, when finding the code. So again, if you find it, it'll be worth 50% off everything in my shop with a $10 minimum purchase. All of that will be in the description box below as well. So again, it's from midnight to midnight Eastern Standard Time. That is my time, or Eastern Time, depending on, how you want to look at it. So all you have to do if you find that code is you can go to my Etsy shop, which will be linked below as well, and you just fill your cart up with whatever you want, and when you go to check out, there should be an area to put in the hidden secret coupon code. If you, for some reason, something doesn't work or you're not sure if it's the right code, you can contact me because Etsy we do know when you contact me. So, like, for example, if you contact me and you say, this is the code, is this the code? And I don't see it till the next day, I will still honor it because you contacted me during that time period. Does that make sense? So contact me through Etsy, or if you found the code but something didn't work, contact me through your purchase receipt. Also, don't share this code. Don't put it in the comments below. Don't put it in social media. Don't put it in the Facebook group. Don't do any of that because if I see that, I'll have to deactivate the code, and that will stink for everybody. So the other thing I want to do in this video is, yesterday I asked my Facebook group to if they have any questions for me. I feel like during this video it's kind of not going to be super exciting, you know, it's like we're just going to be matting things. So I thought it would be cool if they gave me some questions to answer that I can answer here in the video. Like, I can read them off to you and then give you the answers. So they graciously gave me a whole bunch of questions to answer. So when we get into working in the album, then I will pull up my Facebook group and I will start from the top and start answering some questions for you guys. I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to start with, I think we're going to start by doing the side pocket inserts. There isn't any top loading inserts, but there are 3 side pocket inserts. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start there and then work our way through different aspects of the album. I think, maybe not. Maybe we'll do those last because those are mostly hidden. The only one that's not hidden is this one. So we're going to be able to see the side pocket insert there. So we need to make sure we save a pretty piece of patterned paper for there. So maybe we won't do it that way. Maybe we will start in the beginning here, because we do have these 2 places we need to embellish, or not embellish, but matte, and these 2 places we need to matte. So we'll just start there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get out the mats that I need for the main base page, this little pocket here, and that's the main base page as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these 2. But I'm also thinking about an insert here. So I was thinking that maybe it might be fun to use the accordion pocket inserts and maybe make another booklet like we did before in the actual accordion pocket. If you want to know how I made my workbook, I will link that in the description box as well, the video link to that, my workbook, the Everlasting workbook, not the Remnants, because I made it the exact same way. So I think we'll start there. So before I get too much into that, let me open my Facebook group up. Let's see here. Let me find my post. Here we go. Ooh, there are 73 comments. All right, let me get to the first one. Okay. Denise Brown wants to know, when are you coming to California? I hope it's when I have lots of money. Anyway, you're the best. Well, I don't know. I would love to come to California, but I have no idea. Let's see. Ginger. I want to say it's a gargoyle. If I say your all's names wrong, I apologize. How did you get started designing albums? What's your background? Well, how did I get started? Okay, so first, before I answer that question, I'm going to pick out some papers that I can be cutting and inking while I'm talking. So I've got my large cut-off pieces and all my little scraps, and I've also got the pieces left over from the cover, and then my muted background stuff that's left over. I've got all of that out for me to choose through. So I really kind of want to leave this plain because there's a pocket here and there's a lot going on. So I think I'm going to use one of these patterns that's my favorite. So I'm going to just go ahead and get these all out. So it's between this one and this one, I think. Oh, those are just strips. And I like that one too, though. I like that pattern. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and I wonder if I should like do a continual... Oh, look, that's the same pattern. I don't want that. So what about that? No, that's the same pattern actually. So let's go with this one. We'll do this one, and then we'll do, is this piece big enough? We'll do this one for the pocket, and then we'll go from there. So how I got started designing albums, well, I think what your meaning is, your question really is, how did I get to here? How did I get to designing templates? And it's a pretty simple answer. I was, the first thing I started doing when I opened my Etsy shop was custom orders. That's actually not true. That's the second thing I started to do. The first thing I listed in my Etsy shop were handmade journals. And then a lot of times I do things based on a need that I have. So I had wanted to learn how to make journals, so I did. And that was way before Etsy, way before I opened my Etsy shop. So then my niece was having a baby, and I wanted to make her a baby book. So I did. So then I listed a custom baby book listing. So every time I would make someone a baby book, I made like 3 baby books for people that I knew, and they were huge. And so every time I would make a baby book, it would be slightly different, so I'd list that as a custom order. And they were actually, my custom baby books were actually extremely popular, and they were extremely expensive, and they were extremely time consuming. So that's kind of what kind of started me designing albums, was because I was making them as gifts for people. So I thought, well, you know, why don't I list them on my Etsy shop so that I could make them for other people, because they were a lot of fun to make. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they were a lot of fun. They were a lot of work and a lot of time, but they were a lot of fun. All right, so now I need to find a piece for there. Well, I need to prop this up because it's getting on my nerves. How about that? Here we go. So I need to find a color for there, and it's either going to be the green muted background or the pink. I think I'll go with the pink. And I wonder if I got a big enough scrap. Let me check. So anyway, that's how I got started designing albums. Whoops. And then let's see, the next question is from Amy Vickery Fulner. I think that's how you say your name. What a great idea. What prompted you to start your YouTube channel? I can't tell you how many wonderful gifts folks have received because of this choice you made. Aw, that's really sweet. That's also an easy question to answer. What prompted me to start my YouTube channel was when you do custom work of any kind, one of the main things people like to say to you is, why is it so expensive? What am I getting for my money? And that's a very legitimate question. It's not like it's a stupid question or anything. It's a very legitimate question. So my thought on the YouTube channel, the reason I started to do that was that, okay, I can show you what actually goes into that journal you're buying or that mini album you're buying. I can show you all of the work and all of the thought that goes into that one little item that you're purchasing from me. So that's why I started my YouTube channel. That is the sole reason. I wanted to show people how much, you know, how much thought and how much talent and how much artistry went into that little item that they were receiving, that they had ordered and purchased and were receiving from me. So I just wanted to show people how I did stuff, basically. Is how I got started. All right, so now I'm going to ink all of these pieces up. And I really think I'm not going to get I'm not going to do a lot of embellishing on all of these inside parts because it's already pretty full. So I think I'm basically, I don't know why I inked all the way around because you're not going to see all the way around. So we're basically just finishing it up. Most of the main embellishing is done, so let's see. Let me look at another question. Martha Renka, I don't know how to say that. You see there, Martha? Could you please tell us if there is, let's see, could you please tell us if there is coming a tutorial of your beautiful journal, please? Yes, there is. It is coming, I promise. Rhonda, I don't know how to say your last name either, so I'm not going to try. Where do you get your inspiration from? I love listening as you work out a solution. Well, my inspiration comes from everyday things. I like pretty things. I like to look at pretty things. I like to be engaged in, see, I might even have to cut. I'm going to cut some of that off, actually, since I don't need the whole thing in there. I get inspired by nature. I get inspired by ordinary, everyday things. For example, let's see. One day I was paying for something at a store, and I was waiting for, I don't know what was going on, but there was a situation, so I had my wallet in my hand, and I was just kind of waiting, and I was looking at my wallet, and the way it flips out, and the way this flips out, and the way this flaps over, and the way there's pockets, and the way there's see-through things. All of that you can draw inspiration from, just the way things are put together, normal, everyday things. So I get inspired by that a lot. I also get inspired by watching YouTube. I get inspired from YouTube. I get inspired from, whoops, my phone just went crazy. I get inspired from seeing your guys' pictures on my Facebook group. I get inspired from other artists on YouTube. Pretty much everywhere. But my very, very, very first person that inspired me on YouTube, the very, very, very first person was, whoops, I need to clean off my tip there, was Marion Smith. Did her channel have a different name, or was it always Marion Smith? I don't remember. I'm feeling like there was something else, but I can't remember. But anyway, so I loved her style. I loved the look of all of her projects. So she was the very first person that I watched on a regular basis on YouTube. And I wish she would come back to YouTube. Don't know where she went. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that whole trick here where I have this slit in there, and I'm going to hold it down and lift it up and glue it down that way. Just got some of the craft cardstock that we used to make the base pages, and I think I'm just going to take the insert for the accordion pocket, trace it out, and then fold it over and make a booklet that way versus printing it out. What row? Here we go. So I think I'm going to grab my paper trimmer real quick because I kind of want a straight line. Whoa. I apologize for my sniffles, you guys. Whew. Okay, let's see. Leslie Claire Jones. Leslie Claire Jones wants to know, how many hours per week do you work for your business, including YouTube, Facebook, Etsy, etc.? Second question is, what would you have done differently in the beginning of your YouTube, Facebook, or Etsy if you knew you were going to be this big of a success? Well, that's very sweet, Leslie. First question, how many hours do I work? Well, a lot. That's about the best answer I could give you. I don't have like set working hours. I work almost every day, almost all day. I'm going to cut this with my scissors if I can find them again. But pretty much, if I'm awake, oh, I just cut that crooked. I'm either thinking about what I need to do, or I am doing, or I am looking, researching, working on templates, answering questions, monitoring situations, pretty much every day, all day. I'm working on ideas. I'm one of those types, if I get an idea, I have to make a quick mock-up, a quick prototype, to see whether it's worth my time, sorry about that, camera cut off. To see if it's worth my brain power any further. So, but yeah, if I'm pretty much working every day, all day. Almost to the point where, well, I know it's to the point where when you know, my husband calls and says, what are you doing? I say, I'm working. He's like, no way you're working. I work all the time. It's a full-time job. It's more than a full-time job. It's like you work overtime every day. So just, you know, forewarning for anybody who would like to do what I do for a living, it is very time-consuming. But I love it. I love my job. I love everything about it. I love every aspect of it. My favorite aspect of it is the creating part. I love to create, and I love all types of different things. So I work all the time. So I wish I could give you a specific time. I don't even think I want to know myself what that would be, because it might be a little off-putting for me to know the hours that I'm actually working. Not fun, I didn't think. All right, and the second part of your question, what would I have done differently in the beginning? Well, nothing. I wouldn't have changed a thing, actually. The way I work, the way my life has kind of evolved over the years is one thing leads me to another thing, leads me to another thing, leads me to another thing. I think when you try to jump from point A to point Z without doing all of the other points in between, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, and I don't think that, in my case, the quality of what I'm doing wouldn't be there. Like, I wouldn't have learned everything that I needed to learn step by step by step. If somebody told me, all right, Jennifer, here's what you need to do. You need to start here, and then if you do all of these things, you know, if you do this, and this, then you're already going to get to this point. You don't need to actually, you know, work through all the issues. You don't need to learn everything that you need to learn. I'm telling you, this is the solution. You know, that won't work for me. I have to learn myself. I'm always been self-taught, I guess, is basically what I'm trying to say. I self-taught myself how to do nails. And then I actually had to go to school and get a license. I self-taught myself how to start an Etsy shop, how to start a YouTube channel, how to make my templates, the process, the beast that Genevieve Designs has become has been self-taught from start to finish. Now, I don't mean I don't learn from other people, because I do learn from other people. I get ideas from other people. It's not like it's just me going on my own. I just have to learn on my own. Like, you can't tell me, like, I can't read like a book and know, okay, well, that's how you do that. That doesn't work for me. So like textbooks and things don't work for me because I don't understand that way. I have to physically do things myself. So that was the long answer to the short answer to your question. No, I wouldn't have changed a thing. Knowing what I know now, I would not have changed a single thing about how I got to where I am now, because I'm always learning, always evolving, always changing, adding, deleting, whatever. I'm always learning. Learning by doing. So I hope that was I hope I fully answered that question for you. Okay, so, oh, I need 2 mats, don't I? Well, let me answer another question. Connie says, perfect question. I want to know this too. Chris Meredith Taylor wants to know, why did you choose paper crafting? Well, I don't think I chose paper crafting to begin with. I think that it just kind of, again, evolved. So now I'm looking for another piece that can go on here. I do like that. I think I'm going to do that one. I don't think I really chose paper crafting. I like paper. I like pencils. I like art. I like crafts. I like doing things myself, making things myself. I liked scrapbooking, although scrapbooking was, it seems to me like scrapbooking is a creative outlet for those of us, you know, who have families and want to document things about our children or our family's lives. And I liked that. But then I also liked making books, and I like painting, and I like learning creative things. So that too just evolved. From me wanting to learn how to make a book to paper crafting. And another reason I like paper crafting is there is no limits. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Whether you're using recycled material, whether you're buying digital, whether you are buying paper packs, you can make so much stuff with paper. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attach these down. And I think I will make a little booklet, except I'm going to do it the easier way with the stapler. That was so funny when I realized that I could have just stapled it. Alright, so this is just cream colored copy paper, just like I made the booklets when I did the accordion, doing the same thing when I did the floating accordion pocket insert thingies. So I'm just taking one sheet and I'm folding it in half, ripping it, folding it again, and then I'm going to take the mat for this accordion pocket, insert page, and then I'm going to rip these pages. Pretty simple. Okay, let me see another question. What do you set your ink and inking tool on while you are working on projects? Ann Mullins. Here we go. It is a plastic case from when, like, my son buys these things that protectors that go over top of his phone, like a clear sheet kind of thing. Well, it comes in these plastic tray type situations. So instead of throwing it away, I just recycle it and use it as my ink station, I guess. My ink plate. I don't know what to call it. But it's just recycling. Alright, Lisa Gibson Fraser. I really love all the album sizes you've made so far. Are you going to make a 12 by 12 size album? I get a lot of requests from family and friends for larger albums to hold larger pictures. That is from Lisa. Well, the only thing I can say about that, a larger album like that, is that you can't print off page designs big enough. Most people do not have a printer that they can print that big. I'm going to paperclip this, I think. I can find paperclip. So if I was to design an album that big, it would have to be like a video tutorial, like on Teachable or something like that. But that's never, I never say never. That's never out of the question. It just isn't on the agenda currently. So the biggest one I have is the Ultimate. So watch, let's see if this will work better, you guys. I'm just going to stick this stapler in here. And, oh, am I out of staples? Oh, of course I'm out of staples. Hang on. Goodness me. I don't even remember what we was talking about. Oh, we were talking about the big size. Yeah, I never say never. It's just not in the lineup currently. Oh, look at there. Perfect. All right. So this is way easier than doing it the way I did it, because I wanted to learn something new. Oh, I still got off a little bit. Oh well. Alright, so now we've got a little booklet insert for right here. That is so cute. I love it. So now we need to flip over to this side. And we just have these 2 pages. And I think I'm just going to mat them, just straight up mat them. And let's see, I'm trying to find something a little bit more stable to hold the books up. There we go. Alrighty, so let's see, next question. Sharon Rees Morris Meyer. She would like to know, will I be adding to my artisan series? And good question. Love that series. Do hope so. Me 4. It's a stunning series, and Jen's ideas for it were gorgeous. Probably not right now. Again, I never say never, but it's not in the lineup currently. But that doesn't mean never. It just means not right now. Dawn GH, do you still have a day job, and how can I become a crafting guru like you? That's cute. That's cute. Genevieve Designs is my job. It consumes most of my waking moments. I do not have a day job. Now, when I started, I did work. I did have a job. Let's see, is that big enough? That looks like that might be big enough. All right, sorry about that. My husband called. The question was, do I have a day job? And how can she become a crafting guru? I keep wanting to say it funny. No, Genevieve Designs is my job. It is my full-time job. I had a job. I was a nail tech for 18 years. So when I first started Genevieve Designs, when I first started my Etsy shop, yes, I still worked. I think it was maybe 2 years more after that. But that's a whole nother story. I think this one's pretty close to being correct. That's a whole nother story, how that all went down. And I think somebody asked it later. in the comments. So if we get to it, I'll tell you about it. But no, Genevieve Designs is my job. And also, well, I guess I do have another job. I'm also a mother and a wife. I have a family. I have a mumsy. You know, that kind of stuff. Is that a job? Is that considered a job? My kids do come first, though. It's one thing about me that everybody's known forever, even with when I was doing nails. If I made my own schedule, so if my kids needed me, then what is this? What is this? What are we doing here? If my kids needed me, then they came first, and I would cancel people's appointments because they were first. And they still are, for the most part. Okay, so next question. Kathy Smith. What paper line are you using for the mystery or secret mini album at Madicon? I'm not telling you because it's a secret. It's a secret, it's a mystery. Stella Valdez, looks like. I love your channel. You are so amazing. Do you leave small borders when placing your papers on the pattern? New at this, but love it. I'm not sure what you mean. Do I leave a border? I think what you mean is like this, for example. There's a border along the outside. So this would be considered a mat onto the page. So yes, I do, but I don't, not when I trace it out because I'm using my templates to trace around because these are the exact size. The templates are the exact size mats for the page. So, Darla Walker. Have you considered selling your kits as SVG files or including SVG files? I have. I have considered it. But my plate is so full right now that I have to learn a whole new thing to do that, which is fine. I just currently don't have the time. So, again, never say never. Maybe one day. I'd like to. I've thought about it. That's not really a question for me. Rosalind, oh, do you have a full-time job? Oh, Rosalind Middleton says, did you have a full-time job before you started this? Yes, I did. I was a full-time nail tech and a full-time nail tech. I don't know what that means, a full-time nail tech. I was an independent contractor, which meant I made my own schedule, made my own appointments, all of that jazz. And I was really good at it. And I mostly, for those 18 years, just did acrylic, mostly. And pink and white acrylic at that. I bet you guys could have guessed that. I didn't really care for manicures or pedicures or any of that. So I need to move this clip real quick. So yes, I did. And what I would do is I'd go to work. I would take the kids to school, get ready, come home, get ready, go to work, pick the kids up from school, go home, get everybody situated, cook dinner, and go back to work. And then I would come back home and crash, basically. Now, I didn't work 7 days a week, though, doing nails. But that's what I did. Like I said, my kids and my family were the most important, so I had to do what I had to do. Yeah, that's cute. So, see, now that's a finished page. That is a finished page. Okay. I think we're going to wait on these side pocket inserts. So, let me move that out of the way. So that one's done. See how chunky it's getting? Oh, here is these two. So I need to mat these as well. And I also, since we're running out of pattern paper, I'm going to skip those. I need an insert for here. I might skip that one too. Let's see. What else we got? I need an insert. side pocket insert there, and I need an insert back here. So, let me think. What kind of insert do I want to put here? Well, I guess since I've got my mats out for that, I can just make some more of these to go in there. Maybe not the booklet part, just, you know, this part. Whoa. Man, I got this scrap here. How about I use it? Oh, look at there. It's the perfect size. Awesome. Well, almost perfect size. All right, so let's ask another question. Tara Lee Newman Bowden. I don't know. I'm sure I butchered that pretty good. 2 questions, if I may. How do you decide on / choose the paper lines you use for different projects? And do you design your book specifically so that you can utilize different pages, patterns, in various ways for different effects purposes? Okay, so that first question was, how do I decide on the paper lines I use for my different projects? Well, the first thing would be, what's it for? Let's say I'm not making a video, or I'm not doing it for YouTube. It would be like, is it for a baby? Is it for a boy? Is it for a girl? That would matter, right? But if we're just talking about how do I pick the papers that I use on my videos, well, it's what I think is pretty. That's how I pick them. And if you can get them or not. Because there's nothing frustrating or more frustrating. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of frustrating things, but it's very frustrating for me when I'm watching somebody do something. I'm like, that is so pretty. That paper is so beautiful. And then you can't get it. And it's like, ugh. You know, that is frustrating. And I know it still happens anyway. I'm not trying to say that. But I just pick papers that I think are pretty. Like, well, let's take the Santorini paper. This isn't perfect for me. Why? Because I'm not a huge fan of the blue. Now, that doesn't mean it's not a pretty color. I just, in my personal taste in mini albums, I kind of steer clear of that kind of color contrast. But the other pages in this collection are stunning. They are perfect for me. Like, see, that's just too much for what I'm doing, for the feel that, for the style that I like, the feel that I like to have in my mini albums. Now, if I was doing something for a boy, that would be perfect. Like, this isn't my favorite pattern either, but I actually like this better, I think, than the striped blue. But again, if I was doing something for a boy or a man, or if we took a cruise or we went on a sailboat or something like that, this would be really super cool. But that's not the feeling I'm going for in this album. But then these pages are gorgeous. So, you know, I just look at it, I look at it that way. I mean, can I work around the things that I don't like about a paper collection? Yes. I have proven that to myself twice now, so I know it can be done. And that's exciting, to be able to use a paper collection that you may not like every aspect of it, but you can still utilize it. You know what I mean? So, and on top of the feel and look, the aesthetic of it, also the quality of the paper collections that I like to use. Let me make sure this is the right size. So if it's bad quality paper, then I don't typically like to recommend it to you guys, because then, you know, you're going to be using bad quality paper. And nobody wants that. Well, I am quickly running out of paper. I might have to dig in. No, I've got some more over there. All right, so what do I want to put here? Not that. It's like I've got the same stuff. That's what's on there. If I use the bottom part. Let's use the bottom part. And I'm just going to mat the one side, and I might even make it kind of like a cute tag. Let's see. There's my pencil. I guess I could be answering a question. Oh, the second part of that. Do you design your book specifically so that you can utilize different pages, patterns in various ways for different? No. My printable templates are designed for interaction elements, for that wow factor, for that ease factor, for that you can make it simple or you can make it complicated. You know, they are not designed for anything specific, no specific paper collection or any of that. It's just for versatility, and I love interactive elements. So when I'm designing, like, each page that I do, like our video series where we start and we build a page, we build a page, we build a page, it has nothing to do with the paper collection. It's about what I want to have in there, I guess. So I don't design things specifically for patterns and papers. Sharon Hastings, do you have any pull with with Prima? No, I wish I did. Prima, we need to talk. Anne-Marie Malone, I don't know. Is there any chance of you revisiting the DIY Ultimate template and maybe doing an album with that? That would be awesome. Well, probably not. I made 7 or so albums for the Ultimate DIY printable mini album template, so I probably won't revisit that. And I don't know if I've told you guys this or not, but I am working on several new projects right now. Several new things are going on, and I don't think I can add one more thing to the mix. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 things that are going to be new and coming and awesome that I'm working on at the same time. And what happens is I get an idea and I'm like, ooh, you know, so I work on that for a little while, and then I get an idea for the other thing and I work on that for a little while, and but anyway, I'm getting off track. So I'm thinking I'm going to make this kind of like a cute type. I wonder if I put like a thing on the side that, ooh, you know, no, no, let's not add any more bulk. So I'm just going to add this. All right. Carol Ann N.A. at the end of that. I'm not sure if that's... Thanks, Jen. I'm wondering what you use to stick the cutout templates to the pages holding the original templates. Do you use Velcro dots? Do you use repositional tape? Thank you so much for your work, your art, your wonderfully easy to understand videos, your discounts. Whenever I feel down, just listening to you and learning something new does wonders for me. I appreciate it all. What was the question? Oh, I think she's asking about what do I use, what adhesive do I have on the back of my traceable templates in my workbook. Well, I use my ATG gun. Let me show you. So this is my ATG gun by Scotch, but I don't use ATG tape runner in my ATG gun. It's actually the Frugal Crafter, Lindsay. She recommended the Tape Depot. I think that's what it's called. And so it's cheaper, and it's not as permanent, I guess. It's not as high tack. So what I like about it is I can de-stick it a little bit, and it's perfect for my workbook. Now sometimes I don't de-stick it enough, but most of the time. So that's what I use. I don't use anything fancy. It's just a generic, I'll try to link it in the description box below. It's just a generic tape runner tape. Oh goodness, my book is getting so fat. I don't even know if I can get this in there. There we go. Alright, let's figure out, I want to do an insert for underneath there. I think that one might be too skinny. Although, yeah, I think that might be too skinny. I might use the actual side pocket insert. So, let me put these up for now. And I'm going to grab the side pocket insert, which is on page 6, and the mat is on page 19. Okay. Let me get another question. Tina. I'm not even going to try to say your last name. When you spend time with your family, are you able to focus on them, or does your mind wander off and think about all things crafty? Like, for example, you are sitting down to dinner with your family, getting your grub on, and then all of a sudden you start getting ideas for the next project, and you put down the pork chop and start jotting down ideas during dinner time. I guess what I'm asking is if you have an off button. I do not have an off button. But I also won't stop eating either and go do something else. Does that make sense? My brain's always working, always thinking. But there's certain things I just won't do. Like when I'm watching my son's soccer game, I won't make notes. I may answer a question or two if it's like halftime or something. But I don't like stop what I'm doing to create something. But my brain is always working. I try to make mental notes when that happens. Have you ever considered selling your own paper line? I have. That would be cool. Prima. I'd love to, actually. But right now I've got too many things going. Kathy Rogers, do you ever share videos or pics of your albums with your pictures in them, and what do you do with all the ones you create? For example, your box for clips and bellies and such. That was a precursor for your memory boxes. Well, I don't think I've ever showed you guys. Well, I showed you the Traveler's Notebook one. Again, I'm just going to take the side pocket insert. I'm going to trace it out onto craft cardstock. But no, I typically don't. I need to make a wedding album for my son and my daughter-in-law. And that's what I was going to do. I was going to make one for them, and I was going to make it on camera with you guys, and we were going to put pictures in it and all of that jazz. But I haven't had time. Probably what I'll end up doing is making a whole set of templates just for that reason, because that's how I kind of roll. And the projects that I make on camera for you guys, I keep them for reference, because believe it or not, in 2 years when someone asked me about this album, how did you get that stuck, I may not remember. I may not remember that. You know what, I might just use some muted backgrounds on this, maybe. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. So let's use green. Do I have one already cut into? So, yeah, let's use green. So when someone asks me a specific question that I don't remember, I just go pick up the book and look. And then I also, another reason I don't do anything with them, I keep them all, is because they're inspirational all by themselves. So whenever I feel like I'm in a funk and I'm like, so I go in there in my PSS room, that's what I call it, packing, shipping, and storage room. I go in there and I pick them up and I look at them and I flip them around, and I just, you know, sometimes you can do things better or easier, you know, so I keep them for inspiration as well. And I also keep them because, you know, have I done that before? You know, I try to come up with things to show you guys in the videos that are different, you know, that I don't do all the time, or a different way of using something or whatever. I try to. So if oh, that's a great idea, and then I go look and I'm like, oh, I just did that, kind of thing. So they're there for several reasons. So I don't give them away and I don't use them. Not the ones that I record anyway. I think I did in the very beginning because of YouTube, because I was making those videos to show you how I made the things that I was selling on my Etsy shop. So I don't have some of my earliest things. Oh, let me grab another question while I'm inking. Let's see. Well, Kathy Adams wants to know, what does your husband and kids think about what you do and all of your success? Well, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I think that my husband, specifically, has always been extremely supportive of me and what I want to do. He's always been very encouraging. I imagine his first thoughts when I said, I'm going to open an Etsy shop. And just so you know, my Etsy shop got opened. I decided I was going to do it, open an Etsy shop, and it got opened within 2 days. Like, I even went to the courthouse, got my name right, all of that was done. Like, I made the decision that I was going to do it, and I did it, by golly. So he didn't hardly flinch when I told him that I was going to be opening an Etsy shop. He's just a very supportive person. He believes in my creative mind, I guess. And then my kids, they're just like, they've been part of their life, their entire life. Me being creative, me doing stuff. The YouTube thing maybe was the most impressive for my youngest son. He probably thinks that's the coolest. So, but they're very proud and they're very supportive of me and what I do. One of my son's teachers, we were at, what were we at? I forget what we were there for. Oh, awards. He's in high school, and one of his teachers walks up and says, "Is this Genevieve?" Apparently, Elaine was talking about me in class, and the teacher pulled my YouTube channel up in the class and everything. So he's really proud of his mom, I think. And if he's not, well, he better be. He should be. All right, I'm going to glue this down. I don't think I cut that mat out very straight. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Since this is such thin paper, it's going to show through. But, oh well. Oh, should I have shortened that? Should I have made that smaller? I probably should have. Let's see. Oh, no, that's okay. That'll work. Even though I just covered up the whole pink background there. That'll work. That looks good. That way there's something. Now I feel like it needs a pull. What do you guys think? Well, here's one of those ovals that I cut out. What about just using one of these? Let's just fold it over. Let's keep it simple, right? And then we can just attach it onto there, wherever, like that. Let's do that. Why not? So I'm going to ink this up. Okay, another question. Dion Eason. She would like to know, why do you still say and name everything you use in your videos, like Tim Holtz Tonic Scissors, Teflon Bone Folders, Fiskars Rotary, blah, 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 etc. And there was quite a discussion. I actually answered that on Facebook. But I will answer it here because I know that it is annoying for some people. But the amount of questions that I get on a daily basis, because I don't say what I'm using in my videos, is astronomical. Now that's an exaggeration. It's not astronomical, but it's a lot. I get a lot of the same questions, especially when videos don't have the information of what I'm using in it. I think I am going to go ahead and glue all of this down. So it's a lot easier to just say it while I'm creating art glitter glue. It's just a lot easier to say it while I'm doing it, and that way there's less confusion, and the less confusion, the more creativity there is. So I just tried to make it easy on everybody. And I think somebody had made a comment later on in that same post there, something about, oh, I need to put glue on both sides, Jen. Jeez. Well, you don't have to say it more than once or something. Not, I don't think she was meaning hateful or anything like that. But sometimes I forget that I've already said it. It's a lot of work to record and to create. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of brain power. And sometimes my brain isn't firing on all cylinders. So I forget. I forget if I said it. So I say it again. Even when I'm editing, I may forget if I said it already. So all of that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, a lot of brain power. Okay, so I think that's cute. It's simple, easy, and let's see what that looks like. Yeah, and that way you know that's a pull there, so you just... Okay, so I think that's all of the inserts. And I think... I might just be kind of, let's see. I might just literally just matte this with some muted background. So I don't think I'm going to do that on camera. Now I need some side pocket inserts. I need 3, not 4, I need 3. So what I'm going to do is find my craft card stock, and I'm going to get my side loading insert. I need 3, so I'm just going to trace this out 3 times. Let's just make them all, I don't know if all 3 fit on here. Nope, doesn't look like it. Keep wearing my pencil down. Nope. Let me find another piece of craft cardstock. And I'm gonna get my paper trimmer out. This might seem a little wasteful, but could be a time saver. Oh, did I cut that bad? Well, it's okay. So I guess I'm gonna make 4 real quick. I could leave one as a booklet, but I'm not going to. Okay, I only need 3, but I got 4. So there is one that I specifically want to make sure that the pattern is pretty showing through. So the other 2 I'm not really going to care much about, but this one in particular, I want to make sure there's something pretty showing through. So I think I'm going to use this maybe from when I made the covers. I think I'm going to use this if it's big enough. Yeah. Or yeah, I think that'll look pretty. So I'm going to use this one for that mat. And since I have so much of it, maybe I'll make 2 of the side pocket inserts have the same mat. Whoops. And then I need 1 more. This looks like the right size. Yep. Pretty close. And I'm just going to mat one side of it. Uh-oh. Where'd the other part of that? There it is. Alright, let me get another question. Cindy Johnson would like to know, you have said in the past that you would show us how you did your albums that you used to sell. Some that would be 6 or 7 inch spines. I would love that. I have done them. It is the ultimate DIY. The largest album is the baby book that I used to have in my Etsy shop. It was a custom listing, and that is the ultimate DIY album. That is where that came from. So I have shown you guys that one. I don't know if you mean a different one. Donna Rosario, I don't know. I'm not good with pronouncing anything, just so y'all know. Your work equipment, recording. I have that in my Amazon list. I have a Canon camera. I have it specifically linked in my Amazon playlist. Melanie Robson. Hi, all new here. Anyway, Jennifer, here's my question. When do you think your new template, which I'm dying to see and purchase, will be available? I really need something new to work on. Well, I am working on it. Currently, I'm working on several new templates. One of them is going to probably not be released until the Maidacon, which will be in September. It's the Shabby Christmas. Do I have it still sitting out somewhere? Do I? Yep. Here's a little sneak peek. This is the Shabby Christmas mini album class. I'll link my class below. My class is to Maidacon. It's in Tennessee. It's in September. I'll give you a real quick flash look-see in the inside. Just a real quick whoosh. That's all you get. That template, there will be a template for that one. That template will not be out, I think, until after Maidacon, but it will be available after Maidacon. And then the other templates that I'm working on, I'm hoping they will be released soon, but I don't think they're going to be like within the next couple weeks. So here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to buy myself some time so I can focus on them. So when you're watching the Remnants Lovely Layers Graphic 45 Fairy Dust album and the Prima Lavender album from the last Maidacon, while you're watching those videos, I'm going to be working exclusively on my templates, designing and developing my new templates. Again, I'm at certain stages of each one, so I'm trying to give myself time to be able to focus only on that, creatively anyway. So that's kind of my game plan, so I don't really have a time frame for you. I'm hoping it'll be before Maidacon, but if not, it will be after Maidacon because I have to use them during Maidacon. Okay. Samantha Moss Wolf, it looks like. Is it even like focusing? I'm not sure. On a personal note, what is your favorite food? Oh goodness, my favorite food. My husband makes the most delicious cedar plank grilled salmon ever. That's probably my favorite food. And my guilty pleasure food is chips. I love crunchy, salty. Like the other night we had, and it sounds disgusting, black pepper kettle chips, or salt and pepper, I don't know, but they're weird, right? There's not something you can just sit down and eat. I guess you could, I don't know. But we paired those with some Chipotle, oh gosh, what was it? I forget what kind of cheese it is, but it was like Chipotle flavored, you know, fancy cheese. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So good. So, yeah. I used to have a really big sweet tooth, but I've kind of grown out of that. But I love crunchy, salty things. And my husband's salmon. Delish. Last night he made ribs, barbecue baby back ribs. They were so good. It's my recipe, but I was working, so he cooked them for me. All right, I'm going to, this video is getting extremely long. I think I'm gonna ink these off camera and be back. All right, I have all of those inked up, and I also got some tabs out. Before we attach these down, I wanna add some tabs to these. So while we're doing that, let's see, let me get another question. Tammy Walsh, when you cut down your 12 by 12 papers to 8.5 by 11, do you cut the 1-inch piece off first or the larger piece? I cut the larger piece off first and the 1-inch last. Lois, excuse me, Lois Heyman, do you sell a bundle that has everything? No. Etsy will only allow us to upload so much, so many files that are so large. So it would take quite a lot of space if I had one bundle that had everything in it, or at least had one of everything in it. That would be the you know, plain templates, the guides, the background design template, just one background design template for everything that I have would be huge. No, nope, don't have anything for that. Mary Halser, are you still planning videos using the graphic? Yes. They are going to be made with the Remnants Lovely Layers. They are coming up next. The other two albums will be using the same template. They're just designed differently, and some techniques are different, and some embellishing is different. The page styles might be different, you know, that kind of stuff. Lori, I'm not going to try to say her name either. What about making our projects thicker with more pockets? If I make mine thicker, the tape doesn't hold as well. I get requests for more pockets and folders, but have trouble with the score tape really gripping. I would love to see what not to do and what doesn't work well. A mistakes video from trial and errors to help us prevent them as well. Well, that is basically, it boils down to your environment. Your adhesives work differently in each one of your environments, so you need to just kind of like figure out what works best where you are. Like if your score tape isn't grabbing as great as you want it, then add some white glue on top of it and smear it around to give it that extra solid hold, because the white glue will dry where the tape will not. Do you see what I mean? The tape isn't wet, so if you put the white glue on there, then it will be a permanent bond with your paper. So it just depends on your climate. Amanda Morantis, I'm not sure if this question was asked before, but when do you plan on showing us how to make the shelf for the drawers? The little ones you keep your little piggy on. I love my little piggy. Oh, it looks like she also has another question. Also, when do you think you will make some new Freebie Fridays? I love buying your templates and own several, but there's just something different about a cool free template. Well, first question about the drawers. Yes, I don't know when, but one day I will absolutely make templates for that. It's like, I have to just go wherever my brain takes me. Do you know what I mean? Whatever I'm inspired by, whatever is sparking my creativity, that's usually what I do next. So there's a lot of times I'll be working on a project and I've been working on it for a couple months, and then I'm like, oh, I had another idea that sparked my interest. So I will put that other project down for a minute and work on the other one, and the next thing you know, I have delayed that other project, you know, for 4 or 5 months. So it just really depends on where my brain takes me, where my creative drive goes. And that's kind of the same with the Freebie Fridays. I don't just want to give you guys any any old thing for a freebie Friday. So it's one of those deals that has to like really jump out at me as such an awesome, cool idea that will be worth me making the templates for and making the videos for, and that I think you guys would really get some really good use out of. So I just haven't come across something lately that's made me think that. So we're just kind of, I'm just kind of waiting until I find something that I think is cool. I don't like to just put any old thing out there, so there's that. I get that. People ask me that all the time. Oh, I don't know if you noticed, I did cut this in half. I'm just going to use 1/2 of each one of these on the pullouts. The side pocket inserts, I mean. So, that's a good question. I just don't know when the idea or the spark is going to hit. So, that's just basically it. That's it. Alright, so I am going to attach these down before I mat them. So I'm going to attach, since I've only got 3 side pocket inserts, I'm going to kind of do like a tab, like a file folder type thing. And then one in the middle. Can you guys even see? I need to ink the back of those. Okay, these do have mats, but I'm not gonna, the tabs do have mats, but I'm not going to use the mats. I think I might not do anything. I might just leave them as they are. Okay, let me put this up for a second. I need to get another question. All right, Marie. I'm not going to pronounce your nice name either. I'm sure I'll mess it up. Love you, Jen. How do you balance crafting and your home? I know your kids are older, though. I have 4 kids. Oldest is 11, youngest is 5, which will start school in August. Yay, more time for me. Oh, more time to craft. Also, I have a part-time job at night, which buys my craft supplies. My husband helps me a lot, but sometimes I feel overwhelmed. I love crafting. I do paper crafts. I repurpose house decor and make it my own. Anything that I can recycle, I'm up for it. So basically, how do I balance everything in my life? Well, I'm lucky because my job is my life, is my hobby, is my passion. I'm lucky enough to be able to say that the thing I love to do is my job. So I really don't have a good, clear answer for you on that. But before, when it wasn't my job, see, I'm just going to mat right over top of that tab there. But anyway, before, when it wasn't my job, I would just find reasons, like I need to make my niece a baby book. So I'd find reasons to sit and craft and do things that, instead of like watching TV or any of that jazz, or after everybody goes to bed, or early in the morning, or that kind of stuff. Get your kids involved. Be like, hey, cut those pages for me. Can you trim these out? You know, that kind of stuff. Family time. Or if we are just sitting around watching TV. I do remember early on when I first started my Etsy shop that I was making like journals, like Coptic stitch journals, and they were so cool. They were a little bit time consuming, and I would just sit there at the table in the living room, and we'd be watching our favorite show or something, and I would just be poking holes and ripping paper and stitching things up and all of that while we were just chilling. So I don't know, everybody has to find their own peace, their own balance, but it is important, I think, for you to find that time for yourself and for crafting. I think it's important for all of us. If that's what we love to do, then we need to find the time for that. Alright, let me ink the back of this one here. Alright, let's see. So this one's going to go here in this pocket. That's so cute. Uh-oh. There we go. So now we've got a pull tab for that. We could potentially just put one of these on here, maybe not put anything hanging out of it, but I think I'm just going to leave it for now. And then where's the other one? There's one there. Is there one here? Nope. Is there one? Here's one right here. Put that one there. And then there's one right here. Okay, well, while I was off inking, I also cut the pink muted backgrounds and matted the inside of that page there, just because of bulk. And I also kind of wanted to point out to you guys that, oops, let's close this, that you don't have to put as much into your mini albums as I do. I just try to give you guys as many ideas as I possibly can, many different ways to do things, interactive pages, matting, embellishing, all of that. I feel like these magnets keep sticking together. I feel like I need to put something in between there. So I just try to give you as many ideas as I can. So, I mean, this is a very full book, just like the last one we did. So I'm just trying to share as much as I possibly can, so you don't have to do this many layers. You don't have to make it this thick. You don't have to, you know, have every page be something thick, because, you know, that's a lot. That is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot. So I'm thinking that everything is matted and everything has its inserts. I'm thinking we might be done. Wow, you guys, I cannot believe this one is done. Oh, somebody, since my phone's sitting so close and I had the Facebook thing open, it's like making more noise than normal. Anyway, I'm so pleased with how this turned out. I think it turned out, I mean, it's a chunky monkey too, looky. Now we got two chunky monkeys. Well, it's not as chunky as this one, but it's pretty close. So these are the two that we've completed so far on film. Prima Love Story, Prima Santorini, and then don't forget the two that are coming up, the Graphic 45 Fairy Dust Remnants Lovely Layers album that has been pre-recorded, and the Lavender Remnants Lovely Layers that was pre-recorded. All I gotta do is just edit them, and I don't even remember how I actually recorded. I mean, I remember recording them, but I don't remember what style in which I did it, so we'll see how that works out. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys who asked me questions on Facebook. That was fun, answering all of those questions. And don't forget to check out, or not check out, to look for the secret coupon code, the hidden secret coupon code. It's probably not as hidden as I'm making it sound, because this is probably going to be the last one again for a while. And remember, it's only good for one day, from midnight to midnight, Eastern Standard Time, my time, that is. So you guys, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Do let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and hit this button and hit the notification button, because when I do hidden secret coupon codes, if you don't get notified that I've got a video up, then you may not think to check to see if I have a video up. And here's a link to my shop if you're interested in the templates, and there could be some other videos on the screen that you may enjoy watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.